Okay, I just had to get this message out here for just a few minutes, guys. Mark Willis, certified financial planner, and the host of Not Your Average Financial Podcast. I'm looking over some of the news, and as I look at some of the content coming at us all the time, I felt like, man, I just would love to get on and talk directly to you for just a few minutes. So this won't be a full episode, but every so often, as I see something that I just can't ignore, I need to make sure you're aware of it and look at it from a not so average financial perspective. So, this is one I just couldn't get past. So, check this out, guys. I'm going to share my screen for just a minute. I'm looking at the article here on USA Today. Let me pull in. All right. So, what we're looking at is, let's see, seriously delinquent student loan borrowers hit record high and climbing, TransUnion says. So this is what was, I mean, don't bury the lead, right? So an all-time high of 20.5% of student borrowers are seriously delinquent or 90 days or longer overdue through February, according to TransUnion research. This compares to only 11.5% in February of 2020, just before the pandemic. And this might even be understated. So, one in, let's say, five of us, and almost one in four of us, if you're a student loan borrower, and I was once at one point in my life, how many of us watching, even if you don't have student loans right now, to think that one in four of your classmates, former classmates, might still be struggling with paying off your student loans is remarkable to me. I mean, that's staggering. And I realized that in many ways, it had to do with some of the pausing that took place over the last few years that brought people to this situation where they have essentially come to expect that this is a loan that they're not going to have to repay. And of course, when we were hearing news about student loan forgiveness, boy, that was a great relief to the student. But what else is every student? Well, let's think. Oh, yeah, they're taxpayers. So there is no loan forgiveness when it comes to the government. That's impossible. What they give to you in one hand, they take away from you in the other hand. I heard one person say the government offering you a subsidy is sort of like breaking your legs and then offering you a crutch and talking about how generous they are in the process. No, there's nothing free when it comes to the government. There's no loan forgiveness program when it comes to student loans. What we're looking at here is a transfer uh, to the taxpayer. That debt now is on the back of you and your children. So not only will the students that are late have to come up with, all the rising costs of inflation that go with passing on all this debt, but it's also going to impact your future generation. So the next group of kids that go to college are going to be paying the unpaid debts of the existing student loan borrowers because we inflated the currency and now we've got debt to pay back as a country because we didn't budget as a country. We didn't budget to come up with trillions of dollars of student loan debt. So now that's a debt that your kids and the next group of college bound students are going to have to pay not only their own degree and their student loan, but also the debts from the previous generation, from this current generation. So when I think about like what does this actually mean and what can we do about it? The first thing is, well, this has a big part to play in our financial like economy, like the price of what does this have to do with the price of tea in China? Well, maybe the tea at your grocery store. This has a lot to do with the inflation rate of everything that's going on in our overall economy. Because when you put dollars into something that and then don't expect to get it back, that's basically inflating that money. So seeing prices go up, this is a part of that problem, right? We could also add to this the credit card debts that are now over $1 trillion. We could see a number of student loan programs that are now past due that never get repaid as basically inflating the money supply, just putting money into something that may or may not have any value into it anymore. It's not unlike any other Ponzi scheme that goes out there. If you put money into something and it doesn't come back to you, then in essence you're inflating that money supply. So I guess what really brings me, I guess, a concern as a financial planner is when I see one in five people not paying back their student loans. Um, it underwrites sort of a belief that hey, debt is an option. Repaying your debt is an option. It means too that the price of college can just keep going up, 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 because colleges know that the government's just going to wipe clean the debt, that they'll pay the debts off. So the colleges get paid from the student loan companies, and then the government just wipes clean the balance. So where's the misincentives? Well, students go to the priciest schools because money is no object. Colleges charge whatever they want because they know the government's good for it. And the only person stuck holding the bag is you, me, all of the taxpayers. It means less in the way of roads repaired, or kids programs for your kids, or the value. Most importantly, the value of that dollar that you have in your pocket right now, and more importantly, that your kids will have in their pockets 30 years from now. To me, I think better suited would be putting money in places that you don't have to go depending on some bank or Sally Mae. My own personal story: I went into a ton of debt getting into college. I went to an expensive school. I was a part of that program, you might say, or that mindset that said, "Yeah, I've got to go spend a ton of money to put that college degree to bear." I didn't end up using my degree in a professional sense. I still use it internally, and it was a great value to just helping me think critically and whatnot. But I didn't apply it as a business or a profession per se. And so the question would be, well, did I really use my degree to its greatest capacity for all the money that I spent getting it? I mean, I was six figures in student loan debt, 120 grand or so. And that was when that money was still worth something. So, yeah, I would say the biggest thing I would say is think carefully about, does college still need to be a part of your future or your kids' future, or your grandkids, whoever you're dealing with here? Could there be another solution to helping them reach their goal? If the ultimate goal is getting a productive job, does having a college degree actually get you there? Every time I hire someone at our firm at Lake Growth, I don't need to see that they got a B plus in, you know, underwater basket weaving per se. I just need to know that they can do the job well, and that they've been, successful at helping overcome their own challenges in previous arrangements, other jobs they've had, or possibly a college degree. So, yes, debt is inevitable for some people. If they just have to go into debt to go get that house or get that college degree, I get it. Unfortunately, though, there's a lot of people who bought into the notion that college was a, I guess, 4-year long party with a degree that may or may not be even valuable to you the moment it's printed. And the idea that having 1 in 5 borrowers more than 90 days late puts a shiver down my spine as a tax-paying American. And I want there to be a reckoning, not just with the borrowers, and in many ways, they didn't know what they were signing up for. I certainly didn't as an 18-year-old, but also a reckoning from the colleges and the government. Like, do we need to have such pricey colleges? If the government got out of the way of subsidizing these colleges, would the price come back down to what it was? There are lots of studies and statistics that show college universities' tuition was way less expensive relative to our inflation that we've had before the government got in the business of underwriting student loans 50 years ago. So take a look into some of the history of that. Look at the tuition of Yale University, for example. We did a podcast on that not too long ago. And I'd say that's the first thing you should do, is just ask yourself, one, do I really need what I'm about to buy? Whether it's a college degree or a car or a nice Ninja blender, do I need it so much that I'm willing to sacrifice my future self or my children's future selves as a sacrifice for that purchase? 99% of the time, there's probably a better way. And two, if I have to go into debt, do other people bear that burden? I would say no. Any right oftentimes comes with someone else having to pay for it. What is the right to an education? I don't believe we do have the right to an education unless we're also willing to say everybody else has the obligation to pay for that education. So take a look at this article. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know, and give me feedback if there's something I'm missing. I can't see, with more than 1 in 5 student loan borrowers with a payment 90 days late, this is going to have a major impact into the growth capacity of our country. I even hear about elderly and folks that are in their later years having their Social Security payments garnished by student loan payments that can never be bankrupted. So this doesn't, to me, spell the definition of a healthy, thriving economy. I think the fault, if I was going to lay it anywhere, is at the feet of the government for underwriting the college loans and the schools for raising their tuitions following the incentive structure that the government laid out. Get the government out of the business of colleges, lower the price of colleges, and dramatically transform the education industry from the new tools that are being made available through things like AI and more. What else might be possible in this great new experiment that we call America in 2025 and beyond? What if there was a way to get the kind of person that you need as a job creator, as a business owner, without having to send your employees through the ringer of 4 years of incredible debt and servitude called the college degree? To me, I think that would make me much more excited to know that the employee that I was working with was not shackled with 6 figures of student loan debt like I was. If they came into the business with all the critical thinking skills that I want them to have and the motivation to grow their life and the growth mindset that I want them to have, but not necessarily dragging behind them the ball and chain of Sally Mae and all of her bankster cronies. So hope you guys enjoy this quick live video. Tell me what you think. Am I way off balance? Or is there something more that you'd like me to talk about next? Tell me and let me know. Be sure to like the video. Please, please. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'd be very honored, and we'll keep these lives coming.